Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel. So there's a portion of this video that discusses prenup, and this is by James Sexton on the Soft White Underbelly channel. Obviously, the topic of the video is a divorce attorney's thoughts on love and marriage, but particularly there's the portion I'm reacting to here, which is discussing prenup specifically. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, and let's get straight into this video.
What does a typical prenup look like?
The easiest prenup in the world. Easiest. Yours, mine, ours. That's it. Yours, mine, ours. If in your name, it's yours. If it's in my name, it's mine.
Like in a divorce, everything, all the assets are split 50-50.
Well, no, what you say in a prenuptial agreement is if it's an asset or a liability, if it's in my name, it's mine. If it's in your name, it's yours. If it's in our joint names, we'll divide it 50-50. That's it. Yours, mine, ours. And then you have to have ongoing conversations throughout the marriage about, hey, I got this bonus at work. Do I put it in my account? Do I put it in the joint account?
But if the husband owns a house that's worth whatever, $2 million, and he marries a woman, the house is his still?
Well, they have to have a conversation.
Do
Do I owe you a house?
That's an awkward conversation.
Okay. You know what's a more awkward conversation? A conversation 10 years later with a lawyer about the fact that you have to give half of this house away to someone. Isn't it better to have that conversation when you still why would you learn how to fight in a fight?
But won't that undermine the love that each person feels?
Why? You're going to die. Does that undermine your life?
And this is one of the biggest things that I see that people raise, undermining the relationship, undermining the partnership, or why are you talking in a negative sense? It's very important to have conversations. Life is not always a bed of roses. You need to know how to have these difficult conversations about things that might happen or might not happen. It's just the best way. It shows you guys have a high level of discipline and high level of self-awareness to be able to have those conversations, to know that things might happen in the future, and it's not necessarily you trying to be evil or trying to take advantage of somebody in different ways. The importance of the prenup is to make sure that in case of any circumstance of a divorce, for instance, everyone is going to be taken care of, and everyone has to be taken care of by making sure that this prenup is signed. That is why the terms in the prenup is going to be fair. It's going to be something that both parties agree to. It's going to be something that you guys will come to an understanding, to ensure that nobody is being taken advantage of. So if you don't have that level of maturity to have that conversation, then why even get married in the first place?
Life? Or does it make you conscious of the fact that this is finite and that you should be out there? I think having a conversation with your partner about, look, I love you. You love me. We want to do this thing together. But the numbers are against us and the world is antagonistic to it. And I hope we'll be together forever. But if we split up, what do we owe each other? What do you expect from me? Because I have to tell you something. I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person. If you say to me, Jim, if I'm not going to work as hard because you make a good living. So if we split up, I'm going to need help for a couple of years because I'm not going to pay attention to my career. Okay? Is that unreasonable? That's totally reasonable. If I say, hey, listen, I have this house and I bought it, but I'm buying it with money that I made really before we were together. So if we split up, I don't really think you deserve half of it. I think that if we bought things for it together, that, okay, those things you can half of, but the house itself, that's money I had before I met you. And why can't you have that conversation? Why not? You buy a house. You do a HUD-1, a lead paint disclosure. You got to sign all these things that this is how much the interest is going to be. And this is what you get married and you get a fucking pamphlet. You don't get anything. You just did the most legally significant thing you're ever going to do other than die.
100%. There's a lot of little things that we do, and people sign a lot of contracts that make sure that they are careful. they're very intelligent, they're very smart when it comes to like handling businesses or handling property or handling legal cases and different just different circumstances that they may have in their lives. But when it comes to doing something that is necessary in terms of marriage, it always boils down to emotions. And when those emotions come in, there's guilt tripping and just, it's about the love, you should just let it slide. And then there are so many consequences of that marriage that you might be putting yourself into that you wouldn't really that you don't really know about. And she's going to discuss this into more detail. But it's very important to know that there are many things, many factors that you are signing into which are not included in the marriage contract whenever you are signing your marriage contract. And this is something that a lot of people don't know. And it's time for people to start knowing these things, because at the end of the day, you're signing a contract. You have to be aware of every single thing that is involved in this contract before you sign it. That's when you're going to make an informed decision.
And no one has explained any of it to you. People come into my office and they go, well, my retirement account, that's in my name. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's in your name. Okay, was it acquired during the marriage? Okay, she's got half of it. Well, I have this bank account, but it's in my sole name. It's money that I inherited from my mom. I'm like, okay, and it's in your name. Yeah, but you inherited that money during the marriage. Yeah, and did you put money that you earned during the marriage in that account also? Yeah, okay, that's commingled and transmuted. That's now marital property. So they don't know that. Why? Because no one tells them that when they're getting married. You spend more time talking about the cake than you do talking about the fact that you just opted out of the title system. That's gigantic. You can't legally change the beneficiary of your life insurance, even to your children if you're married, without your spouse signing a consent to that. No one tells you that when you can get married. Elvis can marry you for $20 at a drive-through cathedral. And it's a legal status, a massive legal. You buy your spouse a Rolex, you bought yourself one half of a Rolex. You buy someone a birthday present who you're married to, you bought yourself one half of that birthday present. Nobody knows. People don't know that. They learn that for the first time in my office or in a courtroom. That's insane. What other thing in the world, like anything else, any other contract, you would say, well, wait a minute, no one explained that to me. No one explained that to me. When I leased this car, no one explained to me that there's wear and tear. It doesn't say it anywhere in the contract, right? Okay. Marriage contract doesn't say that. It doesn't say, oh, and by the way, you're opting out of the title system and your retirement assets and all these other things. And if there's any debts, and you could have enhanced earning capacity or celebrity goodwill that has to be valued by forensic accountants that'll cost you $100,000. No contract that says that. It just says, yep, we're getting married. It's 2 witnesses. We're good. Like, what other contract in the United States or anywhere has that lack of disclosure and is that binding? None. Zero. None. So why a prenup? Yes, that's an awkward conversation, I guess. I don't know that it has to be. And I have to tell you, the more awkward of a conversation it is, the more you should think twice about getting married.
Am I against marriage? Absolutely not. This is just a conversation that has to be had between adults who wants to be getting involved in something like this. We've had too many sad stories, too many sad cases, too many unfortunate events that have happened due to people making these mistakes, and they keep on making these mistakes. So if we can fix these issues, have this conversation, have the maturity to have these conversations with our partners, we're definitely not going to be kept in the same cycle of trauma and negativity that we often see online. But that will be all for this video. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll catch you in the next one.